Hello everyone, welcome to Main Life Studies. In this video, we are going to solve one more SQL problem as part of data analyst or data engineer interview preparation. You can see here that is question number 36. Write a SQL query to return output as shown below. Okay, and it is given an input table and we need to return output as shown in below. You can see here, right? So the input table has player ID and name of the player. Okay, in the output table we have to return the only names of the players. Okay, now if you observe this output table carefully, it is Devilliers, Dhoni, Dwayne, Rishab, Rohit, Ross, Tendulkar and Virat, right? So all are D, R and T and V, right? So whatever the names that we are going to return, those names has to be in ascending order. I mean the output is given as in sorted, right? Sorted in the ascending order. Okay, that is the one point we should remember. Okay, next one, how these names are written. Let's see here. So this is Devilliers, Dhoni, Dwayne, Rishab, right? Let's see these four first. So where is Devilliers? You can see here, AB Devilliers. Okay, only returning Devilliers. Okay, I mean second part of this full name, right? Next one, Dhoni. So here it is returning second, right? Next, Dwayne. So it is first part of this name. Okay, next Rishab. So this is first part. Next, Rohit, Ross, Tendulkar and Virat. Let's see here. This is Rohit first. Ross, Ross also first. Tendulkar, Tendulkar is second, right? So Virat is first one. Okay, so the output should return either first name or last name of the player, right? So how these names are written, we'll see. So when Devilliers comes in here, that is last name, right? So we have to, let's see here what is the comparison with these first names and second name. I mean last names in returning, how they are going to return. Okay. So if you consider Devilliers is the last name, his player ID is 207. Okay. Next one, Dhoni. Dhoni is also 501. Okay. Now what is the commonality in these two numbers? That is odd only, right? Let's see here another one, Dwayne. Dwayne is the first one, right? First name. So this is even. Let's see Rishab. Rishab is even. Okay. So we come to know like whenever a player ID is odd, we will be returning their last name. Okay. Here also you can see the player ID is odd, right? So that is why it is returning second name. I mean the last name. Okay. Similarly, wherever a player name is even, we have to return the first name of the player. You can see Rohit. That is first name only, right? Okay, sorry, you can see here wherever even player ID we have to return that as first name. Those player has to be first name. You can see all these things and we need to sort, I mean we need to keep that order in ascending order of all names. Okay, let's solve this problem in SSMS. Okay, now I have already inserted the data into this table. You can see if I execute this query, this is the exact table, right? So what we have to return? We have to return either first name or last name on the basis of their player ID, right? So so we have to return names, right? So all names are in the form of string format. So if you are good at string functions in SQL, then you can easily solve this problem. And I hope you have already seen my previous video. There I have explained all string functions. Okay. Now, how can we return first name or last name from the given names? Okay. Now we'll see here. I'm just returning select. How can you return? Let's see here. Either first name or last name could be the substring of a particular string, right? So, for example, we have already seen, right, substring of any name. For example, Mahindra. Okay, what we are returning? We are returning a substring from a given string Mahindra, right? So we have to define from where to where. So second index to the length of this one, right? So now you can see. So you are returning a starting index and this is the fourth letter, right? So similarly, what we have to return? We have to return a first name from the given string. Okay, let's see substring of what is the name, right? This is a column, right? You can see this is right. So from name column, what we have to return? We have to return either first name or last name. How can we do that? See here, if you want to return a first name, each and every first name should start with index 1, right? So we have to start with 1. Okay, now we don't know how many characters it should be. Either in here Rohit is a 5 letter character. Here it is 6, right? So we cannot fix it, right? So we should make that as variable, right? So if you put a constant, so how it will return here? Okay, it will return up to Sachin. What if in case a first name is having 7 or 8 characters? It won't return, right? So it will return up to 6 characters only. So now you can see here. Okay, we have to select from right from player information. Okay, now you can see here these all are first names, right? So here if we have 4 letters in the first name, it is also returning second name also, right? So we cannot fix it. So how can we return a first name only? We have only single space, right? So the difference between first and second names, in between there is a single space. Clear? So we have to return up to before the single spaces. So how can we return? See here, we have to know what's the index position of that particular single space. Okay. For that, I'm going to use character index. Okay. Character index of name, comma. So what I have to return? Sorry, from name. I mean, in this column, you are going to find this is the one, right? Single space. Okay. From name. Okay. From player information. Okay, so what we are returning? We are returning character index of the single space in each string. Okay, in name column. Now you can see these are the strings, right? So we have to return a first name should be the starting from 1 and less than of this one, right? Less than of this as 1. Okay, before this index position we have to return. Let's see that. Select substring of from name only, right? So we have to define the ranges, that is starting from 1, and we can also define the index position also here. Here what is that? Char index of, so single space in name. Okay, so we have to remove one position from this one. Okay, from player information. Now you can see here it is returning, right? So it is returning Rohit, Sachin, AB, Virat, Rishab, Ross, MS, Dwayne, right? So all are first names only because of you are returning substring from the name starting with first character up to this index. This index is nothing but we are finding this index of empty, I mean single space, and we are reducing one, right? So before that single space we are returning. Okay, this is first name. Now you can see as first name, right? Now you can see that will be reflected. Okay, next one, what I have to return? Second name also, right? This is also substring, but from name what I have to return after the single space, right? So the starting character, I mean starting index should be after the single space. So we have to return what is the single space index, right? So from this, you have to add from 1, right? So from adding of single space index to 1, and from there, you have to return up to end, right? So how many characters are left? Those you have to return as substring. So how can you define? So you cannot fix that value. So how many characters are left behind? So we have to define that value. How can we? So that is from this to end point of that particular string. So that can be found by using length of any particular string. So here I'm checking column. Okay. Now you can see here from player information. Okay. Now if I execute this query, you can see here Sharma, Tendulkar, Devilliers, Kohli, Pant, all are last names only, right? So you are returning substring from the name starting with character index of empty space with adding 1, right? So after the single space, the character starts from after the single space and up to whatever the left, whatever the left characters, I mean left in the sense remaining characters all in the after of this space, right? So all these things will be returned. Now you can see this as last name. Okay, I hope you understood. Now you can see if I execute entire, you can see first name is these are the first name and these are the second names, right? So we'll return as in single query. Now you can see I'm just using comma here. Okay, now you can see we divided a full name, that is name, into first name and last name, right? So in our question what we have to return? We have to return in such a way that if the player ID, you can see here, if the player ID is even, we have to return what we have to return, that is first name. So if the player ID is odd, then we have to return last name, you can see, right? So similarly, what we have to do now? So we know how to return first name and last name from the given string. So we have to apply some condition. How can we apply conditions in SQL? That is case statements, right? We can call them our conditional statements. Okay. For example, what you have to return? Select case when name, what we have to return? Sorry, player ID, right? So we are checking player ID is even. Then what you have to return? We have to return first name, right? First name. So this is the first name. Okay. Next, else what you have to return? We have to return last name. You can see. Okay. I'm going to end this as name from player information. Okay. Now you can see if I execute this query, we are getting it right. So that is Rohit, Tendulkar, Devilliers, Virat. These are the names, right? So I already told you all these names are in ascending order, right? So we have to keep them as order by name ascending order. Okay. Now you can see here, if I execute this query, you can see Devilliers, Dhoni, Dwayne, Rishab, Rohit, Ross, Tendulkar, and Virat. And this is the exact output, right? We're expecting. Okay, simple, very simple question, but we need to know how string functions will work. Okay, and then how we can apply a conditional statement, that is case statements. Okay, I hope you understood. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like and share. Thank you.